sweltering late August afternoon. They've spread the red here between the hedges. The dog walk led by Todd Gurley, the All-American. Hudson Mason making his first start in his home state, in his home stadium. And Cole Stoudt on the road making his first start for the Clemson Tigers. Vic Beasley says all day he'll be trying to control Todd Gurley and company all day. The Tigers and the Dogs in Athens next. And we welcome you to ESPN's College Football Primetime. Packed house of 92,000 plus between the hedges for the number 16 Clemson Tigers and the 12th ranked Bulldogs of Georgia. Welcome to another season together, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Todd Blackledge. Partner, good to have you back. As a quarterback, a situation like this is pretty unique. We saw Taj Boyd and Aaron Murray have two of the most prolific passing careers in Southern football history. And now the two guys that backed them up and waited their turn get their chance to shine here today.
Yeah, and it's a day and age when maybe it's more trendy to transfer and try to play somewhere else. We have two guys that took a similar course and waited their turn. Aaron Murray left Georgia as the SEC's all-time leading passer, took his talents to the NFL. Hudson Mason now will make his third career start, his first time here at home. Taj Boyd, 3 years as a starter. The guy that's going to replace him, Cole Stoudt, this is his first start, and he'll try to do something that no other Clemson quarterback has done, beat a ranked team on the road in his first ever start.
Clemson defensively has got one of the best front fours probably in the ACC, if not in all of college football. That's going to create some problems for a Georgia offensive line that's got to replace guys in 3 different positions. But we know one thing about the Georgia offensive line. The guy they're leading might be one of the best players in the country, arguably the best tailback.
Yeah, and if you're a new quarterback trying to make your name, it's great to turn around and give the ball to a guy like number 3, Todd Gurley, one of the best football players in all of America. He's healthy. He's ready to go. He's had a great camp. I'm excited to watch him tonight.
Georgia would like to repay the Tigers for what happened a year ago in Death Valley, and they'd love to do it between the hedges. Here come the 12th ranked Bulldogs. And the Clemson Tigers, and Dabo Swinney brings them out in his 6th full season as the head coach of the Tigers. Before we kick it, we check in the third member of our team, as always, Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, this Clemson defensive front is deep and talented, and they can wreak some havoc. For Georgia, they have got to try to protect their new quarterback, Hudson Mason, and by doing that, they have a plan for the defensive end of Clemson, Vic Beasley. Now, the offensive coordinator of Georgia, Mike Bobo, told us, we have learned from years past. We tried to do too much against Jadeveon Clowney and change our plan to take care of him in year 1. Year 2, they learned that they've got to still be Georgia, do what they do, and change more formation in how they attack. Vic Beasley had 2 sacks against the Bulldogs last year. They have the Vic Beasley plan, but it's not going to take away from what Georgia likes to do. They'll do it more through formation and movement than personnel.
Dabo Swinney, the aforementioned coach, brand new contract. He's got 6 wins against SEC schools. That leads all coaches. On the other side, starting his 14th season in Athens, Mark Richt. Checking the weather. Let's put it this way. It didn't take Todd and I long to get the sport coats off. It is hot and humid, as you would expect, in late August in the South. 93 degrees. Marshall Morgan will tee it up. TJ Green and CJ Davidson await the kick on the other end. Here we go. CJ Davidson 3 yards deep. Davidson out across the 25 and out to the 30-yard line. Excuse me, against TJ Green. And a nice return. So Cole Stoudt gets his chance out of Dublin, Ohio.
You know, the interesting thing, one of the interesting things about Cole Stoudt taking over compared to when Taj Boyd took over in 2011. When Taj took over, that was Chad Morris's first year as the coordinator, so he was learning a new system. Cole Stoudt has been in Chad Morris's system for the last 3 years. He's very familiar with it, very comfortable with it, running the offense.
A fly sweep. Georgia trying to stretch it out, and they will. Adam Humphries is going to lose about 2. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players. Mike Williams, he's got to fill the void left by Sammy Watkins and Martavius Bryant. Jordan Jenkins, one of the top outside linebackers in the SEC. And on the back end, Georgia has issues with their secondary because of inexperience, but not Damian Swann. He's making his 29th start, but now Clemson with a flag down. He's got a man free down the sideline, and it is Mike Williams.
I think the flag's going to be Damian Swann offsides. He blitzed from the short corner. And again, Cole Stoudt, his first start on the road, but he was very quick in recognizing that blitz off the short corner and kept his poise and made the play.
You got the call right, Todd. Well, we said impact players. Swann on one side, Williams on the other. Here they are.
Pretty good idea to try to blitz. Damian Swann a little over anxious, and Cole Stoudt saw it right away, had his eyes in the right place at the right time.
All the way down to the 34-yard line. In the red zone, the Tigers already on the move. And on the run around right end, DJ Howard gets it to the 10. Ramik Wilson got over there to knock him out of bounds. Well, if the name Stoudt rings a bell, there's his daddy, Cliff, who played in the NFL for 12 years. Lives in Greenville now, which is close to Clemson.
Backup center in right now. Guillermo, number 57, is in. Got to secure this snap in the red zone, first and foremost.
Stoudt looked like he was going to get under center, but now he will backpedal into the shotgun. Second down and 2. Howard now sets up with him in the backfield. Low snap, by the way. Stoudt, though, going to the corner of the end zone. And again, it's a little too wide over there for Hopper.
Yeah. And you mentioned the low snap. That disrupted the timing. When you are throwing the ball in this part of the field is shrunk. And everything has to happen on time. They had a good combination with the routes. They had an opening, but the low snap messed up the timing of the throw. Well, I would expect run here. It might be a called quarterback run, but I would expect run on this third and short in this part of the field for Clemson.
Davidson in motion. They fake it to him. Stoudt straight ahead. Tough run. First and goal, Tigers. 2 great runs on this drive. One a long one, and that one a power run by Cole Stoudt.
They loaded up the formation to the left and faked the sweep that way, and then he got right in the back pocket of his right guard, Kalen Davis. And a good smart run. A 6'4", 215-pound quarterback. That's a good safe call inside the 10-yard line.
Already a 66-yard drive. And first and goal, Clemson on their opening possession. Howard, they fake the sweep. It's Stoudt again. This time bounces his way down inside the 2. Nice second effort run again.
You know, one thing to keep in mind about this Clemson offense, they do have a lot of playmakers, but they lost a 1,000-yard rusher last year in Roderick McDowell, and then their leading rusher coming back, Zach Brooks, a 6', 200-pound junior, injured his foot in August, and he's out for the season. Is going to redshirt, so they're down a little bit in the pecking order in terms of their running backs.
Cole Stoudt, 2 runs on third down already on this drive. Third and goal here. Touchdown, Clemson. DJ Howard. No, wait a minute. I thought he was in. Stop short.
It looked for sure like he was going to make it easily in the touchdown, and he got hit from the inside and turned him sideways. Again, DJ Howard, 195-pound back. He's not a thumper. Watch him get hit and then turn sideways. A good hit by Tim Kimbrough, one of the inside linebackers, number 42, kept him out of the end zone.
Great call, Todd. So far on this drive, the best running back the Tigers have had has been their quarterback. And he's under center, but he'll hand it off. And touchdown, DJ Howard. So Clemson strikes first.
All you have to do is get that ball across the plane. It just has to break the plane of the goal line. It was close. Leonard Floyd, an outstanding young linebacker for Georgia, was at the point of attack, made a nice timed hit. But all you have to do is get that football across the plane.
Ammon Lakitt will be in for the point after. He's got big shoes to fill. The shoes of Chandler Castanzaro, who's now the kicker for the Cardinals in the NFL. Was one of the all-time great kickers in Clemson history. So capping a long drive, 70-yard march in 12 plays. And the extra point is good. Great opening drive by the Clemson Tigers. They mixed it up with the pass, some timely runs by their quarterback, and then a 1-yard plunge puts them in front. And Cliff Stoudt says kid looked pretty good on the opening drive. What a way to quiet the crowd on the opening drive on your opponent's home field. Clemson 7-0.
Well, Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator for Clemson, people ask, is a coordinator worth paying over $1 million? I think he answers that question. I mean, think about this now. For the last 3 years, there's been 2 schools that have had a 3,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard rusher, and a 1,000-yard receiver. Clemson and Baylor, the only 2 schools in college football, and right now they look like they haven't missed a beat.
So Clemson to kick. Bradley Pinion will kick off. Todd Gurley waits at the Georgia end zone. And he won't return this one. So a guy that's been waiting his entire career to hear his name called as a starting quarterback from Marietta, Georgia. He told us Hudson Mason gets his call. He had 2 starts last year after Aaron Murray got hurt, but one was on the road and one was a bowl game.
And just like Cole Stoudt showed, the key early on is to play within yourself and play within your offense. Clemson had great balance in that first drive. 7 runs and 5 passes. Georgia's going to want to establish that run and get Todd Gurley involved. Keith Marshall, who's healthy after a knee injury. This is an offense that has a wealth of talent at the running back position. They're a little banged up at wide receiver, but they've got healthy talent lined up at the running back position.
Todd Gurley, the tailback in the eye, had his career high last year against Clemson in the opener. To 35. This is a 64th meeting between these 2 teams. Georgia leads the all-time series. And right now they're trailing by 7 on their home field. Good field position, though, now for the Dogs with their second offensive set here at the 43-yard line. Sony Michel, the freshman, on the end around, and he's got 11 and a first down. We knew we were going to see him early.
And in some different spots. So, you know, they told us, Mike Bobo said, we got to get this guy the football. He's got great vision and balance, and he's got the skill set to move out and play wide receiver some. They get the ball in his hands, he makes a big play for him.
Here's Isaiah McKenzie, and he is lightning fast. We expect maybe to see him as a return man today. He's a little guy, but he's another freshman, and he gets 9 yards. As we take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players. Chris Conley, the wide receiver for Georgia. They don't have a lot of speed on the outside, but he's one of the leaders of that group. Freddie Jarrett, Stephon Anthony on the defensive side, along with Vic Beasley. 2nd down and 7. They fake it to him here, and Mason got a man on the sideline. And it's complete. Michael Bennett, tightrope on the sideline.
Great job by Bennett. Feet on the sideline, but a beautiful throw by Mason. Watch him throw to the back shoulder away from the incoming defender. He throws it away from the defense. You just need 1 foot down. Beautiful throw and execution on the sideline.
No huddle, quickly out to the freshman. He picks it up. It was an incomplete pass. Isaiah McKenzie, again, all 5'8" and 165 pounds of him.
Pretty good rhythm right now. Balance, run and pass. Different guys getting their hands on the ball.
There's Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Clemson. And again, Georgia looks to the sideline to get the call and up to the ball at the 23. They give it off to Gurley. Gurley's got the corner. Gurley's got the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. Taylor Maxey led the way, and once Gurley got the corner, he knew he had the end zone. Marshall Morgan in for the point after. Tie game in Athens. Only took 5 plays. Todd Gurley, the preseason All-American, got a block on the corner. 23 yards later, Clemson 7, Georgia 7, between the hedges. Todd Gurley's 28th career rushing touchdown in a Georgia uniform has tied the game at 7. Only took the Dogs 1 minute and 13 seconds after the great field position they had. This one's high and taken at the 3 by Green, but he's tripped up as he crosses 15. Nice play by Sony Mitchell, the freshman on special teams, has had a couple of big plays. Tigers from their own 16. Stoudt will have it quickly out into the hands. Davidson run out of bounds at the 20. C.J. Davidson, kind of an interesting story. Went to Clemson as a track man and track scholarship. He's a long jumper and a triple jumper. Sometimes you see track guys become wide receivers.
Yeah.
You usually don't see them become running backs.
No, it says something about his toughness, I think.
He'll flush out of the backfield. Stoudt wants to come back the other way. He's got a wide open man, but he dropped it. Would have been a first down. Mike Williams didn't look that one all the way in.
Yeah, that's a good read and a good throw by Stoudt, and that's a ball that Williams has to have. And all he did was take his eyes and start to look upfield before he secured the catch. He's trying to find where the defender is coming from, and he didn't take care of first things first, and now he puts his team in a 3rd down situation.
And if Georgia gets a stop here on 3rd down and 7, this place is going to light up again. Stoudt, nice throw, and he didn't hold on to that one either. And a fired up Jeremy Pruitt meets his defense halfway to the hash mark.
The Quincy Mauger that time, a backup safety, just times the hit. Mike Williams this time looks it in, but he doesn't tuck it in. And Mauger's able to knock the ball loose. So back-to-back plays from Mike Williams. And that's a guy that's got to get his confidence back on the sideline, because those are 2 plays he needs to make.
Can't throw him any better than that. Minion to punt. Reggie Davis should have good field position again. And it'll be Reggie Davis from the 46. And he's got it back to the 36.
Great field position. Give it to your big guy here and let him try to run the football.
Here's a toss to Gurley with a fullback in front again. And Gurley down the sideline punishing people as he goes.
I'd give it to him again.
At the end.
Give it to him again. You know, he wasn't even in the last possession. Marshall was in most of that possession. They threw almost every down. He's fresh. He's in better shape this year than he was a year ago. Make them tackle him, because that gets old in a hurry.
This time they fake it to him. Mason, a lot of pressure, and he's just got to toss it out there. Closest guy was Quaybon Hicks. That'll bring up 2nd down at 10 in the final minute 23 of the first quarter. I mentioned career high for Todd last year on 12 rushes, including a 75-yard touchdown. He kind of tweaked his quad on that run. He's looked very fresh today. Gurley, and again it takes 3 Tigers to knock him out around the 16-yard line. He is 226 pounds of muscle.
Nice job blocking by John Theus, the left tackle, turned back inside. Wide receiver Michael Bennett got a block for him. They're trying to pin those defenders inside and let him get the ball to the edge.
He's done well against non-SEC teams. He's done well against SEC teams. 3rd down and 2. Mason, quick throw, got it to Bennett in the slot. And Bennett's got it 1st and goal just outside the 1. He held on to that one.
Perfect timing by Hudson Mason. sit down right in between the defenders. Watch Bennett sit down, give a good target. Perfectly timed throw.
Georgia goes with a hurry up. Mason trying to sneak it in. And now a touchdown signal. Good job by the Georgia offense to go in a hurry. And Hudson Mason from a yard out.
Well, little page out of the Clemson playbook. Get a first down, line up and go fast. They caught the Clemson defense not ready to play. And Hudson Mason, very simple play. The safest play you can run, a quarterback sneak. There's no exchanges other than the center quarterback. And he got a good push into the end zone.
A good push from Todd Gurley. Marshall Morgan for the point after. Up and good, and Georgia's got their first lead of the 2014 season. And their quarterback that waited a long time to get his turn to be the starter between the hedges, a 1-yard scoring plunge. Marshall Morgan, and this is a short pooch kick here. Taken at the 21-yard line and slipping down right there. One of the up men in the kickoff return.
And we're getting our first look at Deshaun Watson also. The young freshman quarterback that they believe is the future. We knew he'd play some tonight.
Georgia native, his first snap, and he'll run with it. And he runs well with it near the 30-yard line. Deshaun put up ridiculous numbers in high school. Over 13,000 passing yards, 4,000 plus on the ground, and just had a sensational high school career. One of the top dual threat quarterbacks in the country coming out in this his freshman season. C.J. Davidson, he's got a first down.
And
good,
just
tough run.
If you're watching, just so you know, this is not a reflection on Cole Stoudt. The coaches said they were going to play Watson. Cole Stoudt knew they were going to play Watson. Watson knew he was going to get to play. I think it's just a little change of pace because he's a little bit more of a dual threat guy.
Clemson took the early lead. The Dogs back-to-back touchdowns at the end of one. Lead 14-7. Quarter. Georgia spotted Clemson a touchdown on the Tigers' opening drive to take a 7-0 lead and have answered with back-to-back touchdowns.
And I think if you're Clemson and Chad Morris, you got to get the ball back to Mike Williams here, maybe even early in this drive. Get his confidence back, get him back involved, because he's going to have to be a playmaker for you.
Deshaun Watson going to go deep, airs it out, and knocked down on a ball intended for Jermon Hopper. Watson showed his arm there, might have been a little bit short.
Because Watson had to sidestep a little pressure, he was late making this throw. I mean, you got to throw this ball up before the safety can become a factor. See, now it's double coverage, and you could have made a point that there was contact or a grab of the jersey, but because the throw was late, it enabled two guys to converge on the ball instead of just throwing against one-on-one.
Watson in the shotgun on 2nd down and 10. Nice hole up the middle. Good blocking for C.J. Davidson again. And he got 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Clemson working in some new offensive linemen, new starters this year. And then one of the guys they did have coming back as a starter, David Beasley, is suspended for 1 game. They have 3 players that are missing this game because of suspensions. Beasley was a 2-year starter at guard.
Howard will empty the backfield. Watson going to go deep again. He's got a man. Perfect throw to Mike Williams. Todd just mentioned it, and that one was right on the money.
See, he's too big of a factor for your offense to get down on him. So you go right back to him. You give him another opportunity. Great release off the line of scrimmage to get separation from Damian Swan. And then Watson with the perfect throw over the outside shoulder.
That was pretty. Inside the 31 for Clemson, 1st down. 29-yard pass play. Watson wants to go back to the air. Boy, he's fired it, isn't he?
Wow.
Touchdown. Sharon Peak. What a throw. 30-yard laser shot. Touchdown, Clemson.
where Ramik Wilson, the linebacker, is running in pretty good position. Watch number 51 turn and run, but he has no idea the ball's coming. He never turns to look for the ball. He never makes a play to the ball, and the ball goes right by his ear into Sharon Peake's waiting arms. That's a confident throw by a young quarterback.
You're not kidding. Lakev's extra point right down the middle. You want to impress your veteran teammates? The freshman out of Gainesville, Georgia. Only about an hour from here. 2 rocket throws, the second one to Sharon Peake, right on the money. 14-14 in Athens. Pinion set to kick away, and again Georgia's got Todd Gurley, their All-American tailback, waiting as a kick return man. He's got a 100-yard kickoff return to his credit in his freshman season. He's going to bring it. Nope, he's not.
He wanted to.
He wanted to. So Hudson Mason takes the field again. He's had an interesting relationship with another former Bulldog quarterback, and Holly's got more on that.
Well, perhaps no one in the world can understand what Hudson Mason's going through, except for DJ Shockley. You waited your turn behind David Green. You were able to start for 1 season, and you won an SEC championship. So what is it that you're trying to share with Hudson about how to handle this moment?
Well, the biggest thing is he has to go out and just play his type of game. He can't go out and say, hey, I'm going to try to do like DJ or try to be like anybody who has a 1-year starter. He has to go out and play his game. He's smart enough. He's knowledgeable. And I think Hudson's going to be doing just fine.
What are some of the things you've been telling him to shut out the exterior noise and just worry on what he's supposed to do?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, like I mentioned, he got to go play his game. He got to understand Hudson's going to be Hudson, and he has intangibles. He's been around this system for 5 years now, so he understands what Coach Bobo and Coach Rick wants him to do. If he goes out and does that, he has a lot of tools around him. He has a lot of players, so play within himself. Don't overthink it. Don't try to let all the outside sources get in your brain, then you'll be just fine.
What do you think he's done so far?
I think he's done a great job. He's just distributing the ball to all his players, get them all involved, and you can see the command he has of the offense, and he's a good distributor. He does a good job with that, and he has complete control of this offense.
I know you can hear our guys in the booth. Let's see if Brad or Todd have a question for you.
Hey, Shock, I just wanted to say to you, I know there was times that you thought about transferring, and I'm sure that ran through Hudson's mind at one point or another, too.
Oh, absolutely it did. It was a huge thing. We actually talked throughout the summer, and there was a time when I told him, hey, if you think about it, I'm not going to tell you one way or another to leave or to go, but you got to make the best decision for you, because at the end of the day, you got to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, this is the best decision for me. And, you know, I had the same situation, but we talked for a long time, and there was a lot of confusion. He wanted to go back and forth, but ultimately he made a great decision, I believe.
Georgia on a 3rd down and short, and I don't know if they got there. I think it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, thank you so much, DJ. We appreciate you being here. And, you know, keep in mind, DJ did win a championship in his one and only starting season. So good things happen when you stick around.
He
Absolutely.
did.
Thanks, guys.
He did in 2005 after taking over for Greeny, and one of the all-time Georgia passing leaders, and still in the hearts of Georgia fans for sticking around and winning that SEC championship back in 2005. DJ now in our business, a rising star in the broadcasting industry.
Well, Georgia's going to punt here. The only question I have on that is the guy they gave the football to that time was Sony Michel.
Yep.
And he's the freshman back, and he's not one of your proven guys on a 3rd and short. A little surprising.
This punt is going to take a Clemson bounce out around the 32-yard line. Short kick that time. So Clemson's got it back offensively when we come back. Quick throw by Stoudt. Out in space. Artavis Scott, another true freshman. He's got a good gain, and Clemson's going to go here. Hurry up. They'll spot it down and snap it immediately from the 38-yard line. Straight ahead, Georgia smells this one. And a nice play defensively by Josh Dawson off the defensive line.
The key thing if you want to go fast is you have to make first down. If you go fast and you go 3 and outs, then that kind of defeats the purpose. You go fast, you got to make some first downs. Right now, a critical 3rd down situation for Cole Stoudt.
And this one's big for the Georgia defense for the opposite reason. Trying to get a stop on 3rd and 5. The heat coming. Stoudt fires, and it is caught. What a catch by Artavis Scott.
Well, we've seen about 3 times now where Georgia defenders are in position, but they're not finding the ball. And the receiver knows exactly where the ball is as he's tracking it. Aaron Davis is running to get in position, but he has no idea where the football is, and he's not able to get his hands up to try to fight the ball out in time.
Clemson's got something working here, trying to regain the lead at the 28-yard line. Stoudt pumps one way and coming deep to the left side.
There's a penalty.
And a flag at the 1. This one will be on Devin Bowman.
Well, I mentioned last year this Georgia secondary had all kind of problems. And there's clear early contact before the ball is even there this time. They've had 7 different.
Number 37 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
7 different starting combinations in the defensive backfield. They had 2 or 3 guys that decided they didn't want to stay here at Georgia and moved on to other places. So they've got a lot of young new faces and a new coordinator. And right now, Clemson is going after him.
Tigers have got the Dogs on their defensive heels right now at the 13-yard line. They fake the fly sweep, and now Stoudt in space. He'll keep it. Stoudt with a slide at about the 6.
Really good decision. Really good decision by Cole Stoudt. You're in scoring territory. You're in definite field goal range. If you don't like what you see, just get positive yardage closer to the goal line.
Again, his dad, big smile on his face over there. I think that's his brother Zach too, that's standing next to his dad. Zach played at Ole Miss.
Last time they were in this formation, it was a quarterback power run. There it is again.
And he's going to have the first down, I think, or is it just a little bit short? That's going to be shy. Marlo Herrera made the stop. So it's 3rd down and less than 1. Georgia fans trying to make it difficult for the Tiger offense at the 3-yard line.
Same formation. They bring that running back in motion, fake the sweep, and run quarterback power.
And they do again, and we got to wait on this one. I think he's still short.
Yeah, this time he tried to run to the opposite side of the formation. They showed the same look, but instead of running back to the left on the quarterback power, he tried to follow the right side to get the first down.
Now you got a decision. 4th down and length of the football in a tie game. You'll know by the reaction here in a moment whether the Tigers get it or not. This time he got it.
Yep.
So somewhat of a gutsy call. The ball came out at the end of the play. And it's going to be 1st and goal, Clemson.
You know, 4th down and less than 1. I never love it when you snap the ball 6 yards off the line of scrimmage to start the play.
Yeah.
But Cole Stoudt did a nice job of powering that ball forward for the first down.
He did see the ball come out after he landed on his back. Right at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Tigers. Whoa. Davidson picks it up. Trying to head to the corner. Georgia will meet him before he can get there. Loss of a yard.
So you know what happened here? Cole Stoudt was under center, and I think the center thought it was a shotgun snap, and that thing squirted out to the side. The center, Ryan Norton, he snaps it like it's a shotgun, I think. This time they went under center, and it's a bad exchange. Watch, that ball didn't even come close to hitting Cole Stout's hands. And Clemson is very, very fortunate that they still have the football.
And they do have it. 2nd down and goal. Straight ahead run this time. Down inside the 1 is Davidson. So it's going to be 3rd down and goal from about the 1-foot line. 10th play of the Clemson drive.
And again, 3rd down inside of 1, and your quarterback's in the shotgun, but this is your offense. The last time they were under center, they didn't get a good exchange.
Davidson airborne and in, touchdown Clemson.
He's the high jumper, right? Or long jumper?
Both.
He jumped right over the goal line on that one.
He didn't have to do a triple jump. It was an airborne long jump from a yard out. So Dabo Swigley makes the call to go on 4th down. They lose a couple of yards, but then it pays off to cap their 10-play drive.
I think the best thing for Clemson is both of their quarterbacks led back-to-back touchdown drives. I mean, that's great for the confidence of their entire offense, and particularly their 2 new quarterbacks.
C.J. Davidson, only his 5th career touchdown, but he's got Clemson back out in front. So Clemson's regained the lead now. A 68-yard march in 10 plays, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown. And Todd Gurley, they keep him out there as a kick return man. They probably should have had him out there offensively on the last series. Georgia getting kind of cute with their offense. I'd give it to number 3 a few times if I was them. Gurley 5 yards deep, and Todd will bring this one out. And there he goes. 1 block and it might be over. Todd Gurley, coast to coast. Can he make it? Yes, he can. Touchdown. The great equalizer, Todd Gurley. The 2nd career 100-yard kick return for a score.
Well, Georgia last year was the worst in the SEC in both kickoff returns and punt returns. We have already seen, even before that play, big improvement in their return game tonight. He is a dynamic playmaker. He wasn't able to return the first 2 kicks. This time he gets it. Same guys, the fullback, Maxey with a block on the kicker. Jeb Blazevich, a freshman tight end with a big block. And all Todd Gurley needed was a crease.
They never did get him down. At the end of 100 yards, he's still standing. But he has lit the crowd at Sanford Stadium. Marshall Morgan, deep kick, non-returnable. 21-21 here. So the clock runs out to end a good first half. A lot of big plays in the first half. Clemson got the early lead. Georgia took it. Clemson took it back, and Georgia tied it up. As we check in with Holly.
Well, Coach, Hudson Mason had 11 of 16 passing in that first half. How do you evaluate how he did?
He did all right. I mean, we're doing okay. They're doing a good job defensively, getting some good pressure on us. We got to protect our passer a little bit better. You know, it's a good ball game. 21-all. It's a ball game.
How does your stable of running backs, productivity from Sonny Michel and others, help set up Todd Gurley?
Well, we probably need to use those other guys a little more, but Todd's feeling it. He wants the ball, and we sure want to give it to him when he wants it.
Did he tell you he wants it?
Oh, yeah, he wants it.
Well, he got it on a 100-yard kickoff return for a score. That's how we tied this game up, the 21 apiece, as we sent it to Reese and the guys and the Buick halftime report. We're exactly where we were a year ago, only that one was in Death Valley at halftime. 21-21 in an exciting first half with a lot of big plays a few big mistakes as well. Welcome back, Brad Nessler and Todd Blackledge. Partner, I don't get it. Todd Gurley's arguably the best tailback in the country. He's carried it 4 times.
He's touched it 5 times. He's got 144 yards, and you as a team had 113 yards of offense in the first half.
They didn't want him to handle it on the kick return here as Georgia opens up the 3rd quarter. Both quarterbacks looked pretty good for Clemson, and I thought Mason did a nice job for Georgia.
You know, I really did. I thought the quarterbacks played well. When Clemson, you know, they ran twice as many plays as Georgia did. They had 254 yards of offense, very productive with both quarterbacks in there. But when you get to Georgia, who we're going to see first on offense, you got to give the ball to number 3. I mean, he's the best player on the field. He wants the ball. That's what Mark Richt told Holly at halftime. He only touched it 5 times in the first half. I would put it in his hands 20 times here in the second half.
They fake it to him on the opening play, and they throw back to Rome, the tight end. He picks up about 4. J-Ron Curse holding on for dear life on the big tight end. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Now it's Gurley up the middle. He's got a 1st down, and he almost broke it. He did get to the 2nd level. Again, Curse had to make the stop, but a pickup of 9.
See, the thing about him at 225 pounds, if he has his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, even if you have an unblocked man in the hole, it still takes a man to tackle him.
Mason fires on the sideline. Wide open is Bennett. Made one man miss, but then trips. And still he's down to the 31-yard line. 1st down, Georgia.
Play action, show Gurley, draw the linebackers in, and then throw the ball on the outside. Good execution that time by Hudson Mason.
It didn't take Georgia long to get into Clemson territory, just inside the 32-yard line.
The other thing that Georgia has not done tonight is they've not thrown the ball to Todd Gurley. Last year, 37 catches, 6 of those for touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, they tried that one screen pass, and that was blown up by the Clemson defense. And now it's Gurley. 1st down, quite a bit more. Taking the linebacker Anthony with him for a ride of 11.
I mean, it's just not rocket science. Good blocking. Watch the receivers. Watch Towns, number 9, come in. Boom, big block right there. Gurley gets in behind it. Greg Pike, the right guard, with a nice block. If he's fresh and he wants the ball, feed the big fellow the ball.
1st down at the 13-yard line. He gets it again, and Gurley close to the 10. You know, it's funny, Clemson with the pooch kick to keep it out of his hands to open up the 3rd quarter, but they can't keep it out of his hands when Mason just keeps handing it to him.
Well, he had 4 carries in the first half. Now he's coming out now. How many now in the second half? Is that 3 carries? 4 carries to start the second half. I mean, now he needs a break, and you bring someone else in.
And it's Keith Marshall. And he ain't bad either. 2nd down and 8. Marshall's turn. Stopped. Maybe a yard gain if they give him forward progress. And Grady Jarrett again, a nose man, number 50. Boy, he's been a thorn in Georgia's side now for 2 years. He's a guy that grew up wanting to play for the Dogs. They didn't offer him a scholarship, and he's made him pay ever since.
Well, you look at him, he doesn't fit the specs of a typical defensive tackle. He's only 6'1", about 295 pounds. But heart doesn't show up on those measurements, and he plays with great heart.
Let's see if Mason goes to the air on 3rd and 7. Pumps over the middle. Bennett broken up. Bennett has hands on it. He might have run out of real estate either way. Robert Smith was there and is still down in the back of the end zone. Well, Mason took a shot, and it was a pretty good throw. He put it where only either Bennett could get it or it would be incomplete, and a collision back there with the 2 safeties as Bennett ended up in the end zone hedges trying to make this grab.
I think Robert Smith got his hand in there, and Curse came over and knocked the ball out with contact. And I think Robert Smith's hand is what got caught up in the collision there.
So it brings up 4th down and 7. And Marshall Morgan, you saw his numbers from a year ago, only missed 2. One was outside of 50. This is a 27-yard field goal attempt. And it's right down the middle. So the opening drive of the third quarter, Bulldogs drive it deep. Clemson made a stop, but still the Dogs get 3. Marshall Morgan, who just hit the 27-yard field goal, his first of the year to kick off. And he hits this one into the end zone, 2 yards deep. TJ Green will bring it out. And he got out across the 20 as we check in with Holly.
Well, both quarterbacks for Clemson had success in the first half, and Dabo Swinney said they're going to continue with that same pattern. Cole Stoudt will start this second half, but Deshaun Watson could come in scripted moments if they need him to, depending on how the game goes. He said, really, I think we're playing our butts off. I really think the only problem we had was the missed field goal and the kickoff return. He said, we've really been pretty steady. It's a heck of a ball game. He just seems so excited the way his team is playing here between the hedges.
Yeah, just 2 special teams mistakes. Yeah. Giving up the kickoff return and way wide left on what should have been a makeable field goal.
Yeah, their offense controlled the first half. Twice as many plays as Georgia ran.
Stoudt the wide out screen to Humphreys, and he weaves his way out around the 29 where Ramik Wilson tracked him down. Humphreys, the guy that caught 41 passes a year ago for the Tigers. Of course, they had the big play guys in Sammy Watkins and Martavis Bryant, and they go right back to him, and this time Georgia waiting for him. And Quincy Mauger, a sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia, made the hit. Georgia would love a stop on the opening Tiger drive. No more than that guy would, their defensive coordinator. And the fans, 92,000 strong. Third and 4. Clemson almost snapped it. Georgia was showing blitz. And they might back out of it now. Stoudt got pressure in the pocket. Wow, how did he get out of there? Didn't get the first down, though. Picked up 3 and took a pretty good shot at the end of the play.
Great inside rush by Leonard Floyd. He'd been kind of quiet. An outstanding freshman season. Watch number 84 split right between 2 linemen, right into the face of Cole Stoudt. That forces him out of the pocket, and Stoudt did what he could, but came up short of the first down. But Leonard Floyd, with the quick inside pressure, busted up that play.
ESPN.com had him as a first-team All-American, and they only picked 3 linebackers, and he's only a sophomore. So they thought pretty highly of him, too. Nice kick. And Davis will have to take a fair catch around the 33-yard line. There's both Clemson quarterbacks. Both major contributors tonight, but right now their team is down 3. I'll get you a good-looking dog U. Dogs lead by 3. 2:13 remaining in the third quarter. Brad Nessler, Ty Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew between the hedges in Athens. Seesaw game back and forth between the Tigers and the Bulldogs. Here's a little push to Keith Marshall. Trying to make the first guy miss, but he couldn't. Nice job defensively on the edge by Beasley.
I mentioned the depth, too, of this Clemson defensive line. Rotating a lot of guys in there. Keeping fresh bodies.
Georgia goes with a little pace here. Giving it to Marshall again. This time he got out near the 40. So it's going to be another third down. And Marshall, a little gimpy, getting up after that play. Of course, he's coming off knee surgery. That's the last thing they want to see, is him limping off. Todd Gurley comes back in on 3rd down and 4. And there he is. 2 touchdowns tonight, 1 on the ground, 1 on a 100-yard kickoff return. Hudson Mason will try to throw for this first down, and he got it complete. Jeb Blazevich, a freshman tight end who the coaches are really high on, has his first catch as a Bulldog.
Boy, he showed great discipline on this route. Watch Blazevich, number 83, sit down, show the quarterback his numbers. Hudson Mason had to get rid of that football. Good pressure on the inside.
And a nice conversion. Blazevich showing discipline on that route.
Here's a toss sweep to Gurley. He's done most of his damage going left tonight. He gets a couple and crosses the midfield stripe. First quarter was sensational for Clemson. Not so much since. Three wide receiver set here for Mason. Sony Michel, one of those freshman tailbacks, flanking him in the Georgia backfield. He's just going to loft this one, and Michel forgot to turn around.
It's a lot to ask of a freshman back, you know, to come in on passing situations, to know pass protections as well as your basic runs. Hudson Mason was expecting Michel to look quick on that one because there was pressure coming.
3rd down and 8 from the 49. Mason making sure if Clemson brings the blitz that somebody helps out. Here they come. Going to throw it on the sideline, intended for Bennett, and Mason threw an out, and Bennett was still running a streak. Incomplete. 4th down. So sort of an empty possession there for Georgia. Humphreys again trots out as a punt return man. Surprised they're using Colin Barber. This would be the spot where Erickson hit one beautifully last time. Well, Barber hit it a mile in the air. Maybe they knew what they were doing. They did. Same kind of results. That one bounced backwards too. And this will be right around the 8-yard line. So back-to-back punts that have pinned Clemson deep in a hole inside their own 10-yard line. Aaron Murray was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs 2014, and he made the team because the roster came out today. He was the last quarterback drafted by the Chiefs to win a game. My partner. My partner. Was it early in the season or late?
Search long and hard to find that stat. Yeah.
Drafted by the Chiefs and went on to win some games.
Yeah, won a few.
Ended up with the Steelers. Cliff Stoudt was a longtime Steeler. So we got everything kind of tied together with our quarterbacks, both in the stands, in the booth, on the field, and on the Kansas City roster. And our congratulations, Aaron Murray, for making the team. This is Davidson, and he's got a 1st down. Nice run. Speaking of quarterbacks, Taj Boyd, from what we understand, did not make the Jets team as their cuts came out today. Taj, most prolific passer in Clemson history. I know he's probably watching the game, and Taj, I'm telling you, you're going to get a call if you haven't already, because you're too good not to have somebody have you on their roster or their practice squad, so keep your chin up. We played 3. Ugg is loving it. Fans are loving it. Georgia's loving it if they can hold the lead. They're up by 3. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. You've watched it for 3 quarters. We got 15 more to go. 24-21. Georgia, folks, they said spread the red today, and it is red between the hedges. 4th quarter underway. Cole Stoudt under pressure. Down he goes. A flag down, probably a holding, and a sack by Josh Dawson.
Well, it's Leonard Floyd again. The sophomore out of Eastman, Georgia, drew 2 blockers. He's the one that created the problem in the pocket. And he was definitely wrestled down.
They're going to take the sack, decline the penalty, because it's all the way down inside the 15 anyway.
Watch Leonard Floyd come off the top of the screen. Just beats the right tackle, Joe Gore, and ends up getting tackled right in front of the referee. Well, and the guy who's been the disruptor is right here, Leonard Floyd, number 84.
Blitz coming from the secondary. Stoudt over the middle, caught but short of a 1st down, as Wayne Gallman came out of the backfield and picked up 10.
Yeah. And if Stoudt could have hit him in stride, Gallman would have picked up the 1st down. Stoudt knew pressure was coming. He didn't get enough on that throw, and Gallman had to go down low to make the catch. Otherwise, Clemson gets a new set of downs.
So Pinion's got to kick it Reggie Davis has done a nice job as a return man. Nothing flashy, but he's had a couple decent returns tonight.
And you just get the feel that Georgia needs to take advantage of the field position edge that they've had here in the second half. They only have a 3-point lead to show for it so far.
Pinion's trying to blast him out of field position. Great kick back at the 13. Davis fields it there, and he only gets back to the 17. I tell you what, all three punters that we've seen tonight have done a great job. SEC, ACC battle here of top 16 teams. Georgia number 12, Clemson number 16, and we got LSU and the Badgers coming up when we're done.
We talked about Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon for Wisconsin, one of the other premier backs in college football.
Here is Todd Gurley, pickup of 2. And Gurley now 12 carries for 91 yards. He had 12 carries for 154 in last year's game, including a 75-yard touchdown romp. But remember, the other time he got his hands on it tonight, he went 100 yards on a kick-off return for a score. Give it to him again, and he might be off to the races again. Todd Gurley, midfield. They've got the angle on him, but he's got another big one.
Well, this was a huge hole. Great blocking on the inside zone play. And watch John Theus, number 71, the left tackle, kind of get to the second level and pick off a linebacker. That's excellent blocking. Michael Bennett downfield getting a block. Good read by Gurley, but really good job by the Georgia offensive line climbing to the second level for blocks.
Gurley gets a breather after 38 yards. And here's Michelle, the freshman, and he stretches out, gets a good gain of 6.
Well, again, you just see the depth of talent that Georgia has at running back with Gurley and Marshall, then the 2 young guys, Michelle and Chubb. And you just know that when you get to a game like this, a hot night in the fourth quarter, you think you can wear them down with fresh backs. And that's what Georgia, I think, is going to try to do right here.
Todd's got his 14th career 100-yard rushing game in a Georgia uniform. And there's miscommunication, and that might be the freshman's fault. Yeah. Either he went the wrong way or Mason did, and I'd be guessing it's number 1 that went the wrong way.
Yeah, that would be my guess, too.
A lot to learn in a short amount of time for those kids that are 18 years old and playing in a big-time college football game for the first time. 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down for both teams here. Michelle trying to get to the edge. He got there, and he's down the sideline. He held on to that one, and he went the right way.
And see, that's tired legs on a defense versus fresh legs with a 3rd running back. You keep pounding away, you wear them down, and the fresh legs get outside the defense.
And Curse had to save the touchdown.
Bad leverage by the Clemson defense, but I got to believe fatigue played a part in that and the wrong angles that were taken there.
5 straight runs, and with Gurley back in there, number 6 might be coming up because he's got his fullback Maxey in front of him. Just outside the 18-yard line. Hicks the H-back moving around. They're going to lead the way. Gurley broke a tackle. Gurley heading to the end zone. Third touchdown of the night for number 3.
And that was a complete breakdown by the Clemson defense. That was all Todd Gurley seeing a lack of coverage on the backside and turning it into a touchdown.
Extra point is good. And for the first time tonight, somebody's got a double-digit lead. And it's the hometown Dogs. And it's courtesy of their All-American tailback. What a night. A 100-yard kickoff return, a 23-yard touchdown, and now 18 more. And it's Georgia up by 10. What a night by the All-American Todd Gurley. 31-21. Another scoring run as Todd takes it.
Well, this play is supposed to go this way. And what you're going to see when you play defense against a great back, you have to be gap sound. You have to guard all the gaps. There's about 3 gaps in here unaccounted for, and Gurley sees it and says, I'm not going to the right. I'm going right this way, back this side to the end zone. You got to be gap sound, and I think the fatigue has started to take its toll on the Clemson defense.
Marshall Morgan to kick off, as now Georgia has a double-digit lead. This one will be returnable. TJ Green from the 4. Oh, did he get pasted? The ball came out.
They're calling it a fumble. They threw the beanbag down. I thought he was down. What a hit. Tim Kimbrough, number 42.
Georgia ball.
Wow. The Georgia coaches are going crazy next to us. What a hit by Kimbrough.
I think he was down.
Yeah, I thought he was down when it happened.
We'll get another look from another angle. I thought his body was down when the ball came out. He really got blasted, and now there's his elbow
he's
down.
He's down.
He was down prior to losing the ball. Therefore, it's Clemson's ball, 17-yard line, first down.
Well, fans don't like it, but that's the right call.
Yep. You know, we made this point also. I mean, I think they've made great adjustments, but field position has been in Georgia's favor the entire game.
Yep.
Clemson has had 13 offensive drives. Their average starting field position has been their own 18-yard line. That wears on you, especially on the road with crowd noise and everything like that.
It's the 8th time they're starting inside their own 20. In this case, the 17. And now Georgia might want to pin their ears back a little bit. Leonard Floyd got some pressure. Jordan Jenkins cleaned up as Stoudt tried to run it. Got a short gain. Actually, no gain.
Well, if you're Cole Stoudt and if you're the Clemson offense, you can't panic at this point. There's still 10 minutes left in the football game.
Stoudt out in the flat to Howard, and he's going to be dropped for a loss by Herrera. And that's his 9th tackle.
See, they're just locked down on Clemson right now. Clemson's not threatening the Georgia defense vertically at all. Georgia is closing and squatting on everything, and then on 3rd down, they're able to create pressure on the quarterback.
Wouldn't Clemson love to have Sammy Watkins about now?
Oh, boy.
Stoudt deep and broken up. Aaron Davis hit him in the back, looking for a flag. His 2nd year, but he's not going to get one. That's a case where the DB doesn't necessarily get his head turned, but
he got it turned enough.
Yeah.
He got it turned enough, and he got that right hand making a play on the football.
Just enough to knock it away. And now Pinion pinned back at his own goal line again. And again, it's field position that Todd was talking about. Pinion's helped the cause with some blasting punts tonight. He needs another one here. Reggie Davis will field at midfield and tripped up. Nice coverage.
Boy, great coverage.
Great job by Robert Smith down there on the special teams to make the tackle, because there was some room over there on the far sideline for Davis. 9:05 to play. Georgia in Clemson territory, up 10. Beautiful look from above at Sanford Stadium, where Clemson's had all kinds of trouble on offense in this half, especially this quarter. Minus -1 yard in total offense.
Field position has played a big part of that, and a renewed confidence in the Georgia defense has played a big part as well.
Georgia's got Nick Chubb, the freshman, in at tailback. They're going to toss it to him. Chubb running over people. Cuts back inside the 30. Chubb down the sideline. First Georgia touchdown for the freshman. The coaches kept telling us he's a tough guy to bring down, and Clemson didn't.
Well, and this Clemson defense played pretty well in the first half. They've run out of gas, I think, here in the second half. Missed tackles, missed assignments, missed gap responsibilities, and fresh backs. Fresh legs, fresh backs from the Georgia backfield has taken its toll.
Extra point good. 38-21. A lot of people said, hey, he played at a smaller classification. That's why he ran up such big high school numbers. Well, guess what? 47 yards for his first Bulldog touchdown.
See, just too many missed tackles. Now, it's a great individual effort by Chubb, but this is a tired Clemson defense. You're going to see a couple guys. The center, David Andrews, is going to come out here. Watch Bennett come inside and block, and then the fullback, Maxey. These guys are all on their men. They're taking the angles away, and then one or two missed tackles, and a 5 or 6 yard gain turns into a big touchdown for Nick Chubb.
Georgia averaged 170 yards on the ground per game last year. They've got 246 right now. And Clemson's time is running out unless they can find some fourth quarter offense. Green, who got popped on his last kick return, trying to cut this one outside, and does. P.J. Green, good return. Out across the 45 and a flag. Not sure there might not be a horse collar at the end of that play.
That shows you something about Green. Now, he got popped on that last one, and he had no hesitation to return that kickoff.
During the return, holding number 9, receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Well, that negates a great run back.
See, and the problem for Clemson is they've not threatened this Georgia defense vertically down the field for a long time. They hit a couple throws in the first half, nothing down the field to stretch the defense.
And Stoudt gets mugged by Floyd again. What a game 84's having.
Yeah, second half, he has really come to life. They've put him in different positions, they've moved him around, and he has created some problems. He's on another stunt. This time he's outside, just beats the right tackle. Joe Gore uses that leverage and that quickness to get to Stoudt.
Third and 16. Blitz, Stoudt, incomplete. Had to throw it from his own end zone, and he was backpedaling.
See, if you're a quick pass rusher, you love playing at home because your home crowd is going to make a ton of noise on a 3rd and long, and that offensive tackle has no chance against a speed rusher. That's why Vic Beasley had such a big night against Georgia last year in Clemson and has been relatively a non-factor tonight. But Leonard Floyd is using a quick first step and the crowd noise to his advantage on 3rd down to wreak havoc on this Clemson offense.
Pinion again from his own goal line. Davis, he took a big hit, took a chance by not fair catching that one, and Tony Stewart let him have it on the special teams. But he did hang on to it. 39-yard punt, no return. And again, Georgia's going to have excellent field position, and now they're playing with a big lead.
And they're going to play clock now.
Yeah. Todd Gurley back in at tailback. The toss to him. And he broke free again, and Todd Gurley down the sideline and gone. I think he might be on his way to being an All-American. I'm sure Dad thinks so too. One Todd making another one happy. 51 yards, touchdown, and a new career high. Extra point is good.
Todd Gurley had 4 carries in the first half. He has gotten the ball often in the second half, and boy, has he made the most of his touches.
If you didn't see Todd and I right before the start of the 3rd quarter, When we were on camera, I said, how come this guy hadn't carried the ball more? I don't think the Georgia coaches were listening to us, but they have taken to number 3 and fed the big dog.
You know, the only thing that I would be a little bit concerned about, not with Gurley, but earlier in the game, we saw Keith Marshall come out of the game and a little bit hobbled, and he has not come back in. They've gone to Chubb, they've gone to Michelle. I just wonder if Keith Marshall tweaked his knee a little bit more in this game, because ultimately, to get where they want to go this year, they need him healthy as well.
They're going to have a pooch kick here and a fair catch made by the Clemson special teams and Jordan Leggett, as Clemson's trying to get something going offensively in this half as time is running out. We're under 7.5 minutes.
Well, that's the 20th play that Clemson has run in the second half, and they've gained all of 32 yards. So 1 first down. It's just been a dominant defensive effort with the advantage of field position, but outstanding defensive play by Jeremy Pruitt's troops here in the second half.
Watson, a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now, trying to make something happen. Just a freshman, and he's in trouble, and down he goes, and it's Leonard Floyd again. And if anybody's played as well as Todd Gurley has on offense and at special teams tonight, it's been that guy on defense.
Well, they just have Clemson where they want him right now. I mean, they know Clemson has to throw. The running game is really of no threat at this point. And so you attack the protections, you bring pressure in different ways, but you still play zone behind it. And that's tough for a young quarterback.
Yep.
And this again, 3rd down and 19, the longest 3rd down situation of the night for him.
And he's going down again. And it's Kimbrough this time. Nope, it's Herrera.
In the first half, Clemson was 7 of 13 converting on 3rd down. They're 0 for 7 in the 3rd quarter, or in the second half, and the last 4 3rd downs have been 3rd and 15, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 16, and that last one 3rd and 19. I don't even care if you had Taj Boyd and Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
You're still going to struggle on 3rd down when you have that kind of yardage.
Pinion in his own end zone again. 10th punt coming up. Getting a tired leg. McKenzie, the freshman. They wanted to get him a look as a punt return man, and they got it, and he made the best of it. 22-yard return by the little guy. First down at 15 after the penalty. Toss sweep to Michelle. And he got 5 of it back and then some. Todd Gurley tonight with 4 touchdowns and more yardage than the Clemson team. 3rd down and 7. They give it to him. He broke 1 tackle. He broke another. He's got a first down, I think. 228 pounds and on a 5'10" frame. And as Todd said, that is hard to tackle, especially when you're tired. Now the knee will go down for Hudson Mason, who said he was always dreaming about going across the bridge, looking into Sanford Stadium and waiting for his name to be called as a starting quarterback on his home field. He's made a successful one tonight, thanks to Todd Gurley and the Georgia defense in the second half. Mark Richt goes to 3-1 against Clemson in his coaching career. And in his 14th season, gets off to a good start tonight, 45-21. Great start for Georgia. Clemson will have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Don't forget, Wisconsin and LSU is coming up next. That's going to do it for Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe. Brad Nessler saying so long from Athens as we send it to Sean McDonough. Sean?